They're the most they're the most appreciative customers you've ever had because they'll actually come tell you thank you for making their job easier. And where else can you actually have your real customers come up and thank you for developing a product for them? If I don't know anywhere else, but with truckers, they will go out of their way to say thank you.
Do you have your own labs that develop all of this? Or do you work with somebody independently, or do you have an engineering degree, or,
the engineer, that's the fallacy. Chemists make the product. Chemical engineers build the plant. So I'm not an engineer, I'm a chemist. So,
okay. Oh, okay.
But yeah, I have my own labs. I mean, that's, you have to. I've been doing chemicals for 30 years. Everything from making plastics out of corn. If you've heard about plastics made out of corn,
right.
Founded that company, NatureWorks. We basically started the bio based initiative for environmental movement. It's called polylactide, and that product actually, even though it looks like regular plastic, it's biodegradable. You put it in industrial compost in 47 days, turns back into carbon dioxide and water, completely gone. And we did that through a fermentation process. You take corn starch, turn it into corn sugar, and then you take corn sugar and feed it to these genetically modified organisms that we made, and they would digest the corn sugar through fermentation, and the residual product of that was gas. And then we'd take the lactic acid, we'd polymerize it, and then you got PLA, polylactide. And so,
I was going to say the same thing, Van. I really was on the same page as you. No, you're way too smart, man. You're way.
I have a lot of interest.
You were sitting there speaking, and as you were speaking, my brain turned into chocolate pudding for just a brief minute. No, I'll be honest with you. I find it very interesting, and there obviously is a lot that is learned and goes into that, and it is risky business, but it is pretty. I find it just incredible, to be able to take it that far and be able to dictate how you're going to use something and how it's going to solve a problem or do what you want it to do. I mean, that's really wild. And the trucker community is awesome, without a doubt. We have family members. We have family members in the business, lifelong family members that are truckers, and you are 100% correct.
Yeah, that's the thing with truckers. Once they become a customer, you got a customer for life. I mean, they're not fleeting like a lot of the general public. They understand the technology. They'll come to truck shows. I do, 30 plus truck shows a year all over the United States, and they'll come to truck shows and we'll sit down and talk about the products. I'll answer all their questions, go as deep as they want to go as far as technology, why it does what it does, how it works. And just like the spray grease is another one of my big sellers called Greasable. It's in all loves nationwide, Bass Pros, Cabela's. I mean, it's quite a variety of locations where it's at, but he has no water wash.
The bigs, Bass Pros and Cabela's. That's awesome.
It's been there for a long time.
I could live in those places.
It was kind of funny. Bass Pro and Cabela's picked it up before the trucking industry did.
Really?
They jumped on it. They love it because when water touches it, it self-encapsulates. And typically, and when you see it, it's spray grease. It's actual real grease, but it has a little tube on the side as well. And that is for, it's purpose-built. And the way it's designed when truckers get up in cold weather, like I said, it's 20 below zero. And their fifth wheel needs to be greased, because if you don't grease it and you got icy, slick roads, that fifth wheel will push you right in the ditch, because you'll turn the wheel, but the trailer don't turn. So it's got that little tube on the side. So what it's designed for is for the trucker to get outside when it's really cold, dolly it down, get back in the truck where it's warm, let the air out of the airbag, create that 1/4-inch gap on the fifth wheel plate, and then they get out of the truck, they spray one side, go around the other side, they spray the other side, get back in the truck where it's warm, reinflate the airbag, never unhook their hoses, and then dolly it up. They're gone. That easy.
Wow.
And
What?
and
You're like a trucker's best friend.
well, we're just one big happy family, dysfunctional.
You are.
But
That's
for
so funny. How many products do you have altogether now?
14, I've got 2 more coming out this year, but that make bring it up to 16.
Okay, and your new products? What are your new products going to deal with? Or you don't want to say because they're not out yet?
No, I don't mind. The ones I recently introduced, I took Visible and I turned it into a rocket spray. That's what I call it, rocket spray. You can actually stand on the ground because truckers need to clean the windshield. And the problem is when they get ice on their tires, because they actually have to lift the hood and climb up on the tires to try to get to the windshield in order to spray it and clean it.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of injuries. Or they say they have a hurt back, or say they're overweight, or whatever reason they can't crawl up on that truck. Well, now they can stand at the front of the truck, squirt their windshield on both sides, and never leave the ground. And then all they have to have is a long handle squeegee to completely clean the windshield.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, every single product solves an
It's
issue.
like a supersizer, a supersizer gun.
It took a while to figure out the perfect spray pattern and all that. So you can work well away and it's even coverage and all whole 9 yards. But that was my latest one. And next year, we'll be coming out with Frill finally. Truckers have been on me. They want a penetrating oil, not a grease, but a penetrating oil. And they want it to not stink. And so I've been able to figure out how to eliminate all the odor in it. And actually it's very pleasant to use. And it's going to work equal to or better than anything else on the market. So that'll be called Frill. And then the one I'm working on for this fall, which I haven't got developed yet. I mean, I figured out the chemistry behind most of it, but is a de-icer cleaner. And what they wanted to do is they want to be able to squirt at 12 feet, just like my Visible rocket spray. So that's pretty much a given. I know how to do that.
Okay.
But they also don't want it to be a poison. Most all your de-icers are based off of methanol, and that's a poison to pets. And most truckers have pets. So you don't want a poison around your pets or where they can go to lick that. So I figured out how to actually make a de-icer that's effective, and it's not a poison. Now I've just got to put the Visible technology and the de-icing technology together. And once I figure out how to do that, then we got Melton. That'll be the next one that comes out.
Oh, wow.
Phenomenal.
Do you have patents on all of your products?
No. In my world, you don't do patents.
Really?
Very old, you don't want to do. As soon as I put the patent, I have to disclose exactly how I made it. And so trade secrets are 10 times more effective because it's hard to figure out some of this chemistry. And
I don't know. When the Chinese come in, they seem to be able to figure out everything.
well, you can put a red herring in chemicals where they think they know what they're doing and they don't.
And they don't. Okay. Wow. That's true. Somebody told me that once, that once you file a patent, then everybody knows what you've done. So it's like a help but a hindrance.
I'll file patents when I want to get royalties off the technology. I got a couple of patents on the fluorocarbon replacements, and based off of siloxanes, and fluorocarbons are a huge issue still to this day. I think y'all would probably call them Teflon. How Teflon's so bioresistant.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Half-life, all that good stuff. Well, in order to address that and remove the fluorine component, I developed a siloxane replacement. It is actually randomized polymer, which is a very difficult concept in and of itself because it was a polyurethane polyurea with an abundance of siloxanes on it to actually repel water and dirt and all that good job. So, but long story short, I patent those because you want the royalty revenue off of them. If somebody's going to use it in the market so big, then you file for patent. Because the typical patent's going to cost you about $250,000. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
If you do a utility patent, they're cheap. But when you do composition patents, they're expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of money in a hurry.
When you deal with the aspect of chemicals and everything that you work with to come up with all these products, how is it regulated? Do you have to answer to anybody? Is there any type of rigorous process of approvals of using certain things versus things have to get your hands on, certain things that you have to have authority to get your hands on? Or
there's a bunch of those now. Just you can go to ATF and you can look at their list. And there you go. Some of them are highly regulated, would subject you to annual inspections or impromptu inspections. They just come in whenever they want to. But I mean, in the real world, what you start out with, I want all my products to be 50 state compliant. So basically, you go to California and look at the OEI list and look at the chemicals that are approved, not approved, and that's where you start. And then and if you use anything that's on that list, it's going to be Prop 65, which sometimes you have to. Or you just try to make sure the exposure limits are just bare minimum as possible. But you got to report all those. Because I have several in California, so that's where you normally start.
So you pretty much have a good, clear idea ahead of time.
And a handle on all of that.
What you're going to utilize and what you can and can't. And
you got to when you develop a brand new molecule, no matter what it is, you got to get TSCA registration. And that's the Toxic Substance Control Act, is what that stands for. But you have TSCA registration. That takes that's a long process. You do it when you have to. But you really want to, if you can, because it's expensive, you only use stuff that's already on the TSCA registration. And if you can use base chemicals that are on TSCA registration, that saves you a lot of money.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. It's just interesting to hear it firsthand because that's...
Yeah. And you're where you are right now, this is your whole manufacturing area and your chemical plant and the whole 9 yards. You're all... Oh, no? You have... Okay.
I got... This is basically where I was.
Man, I don't want to blow my house up. Come on.
I've got...
No, I didn't say he worked at his house.
I got several manufacturing plants. So right here, we got 8 acres, 40,000 square foot building in front, 25 in the back. I even have a rail spur, so we can do a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
And I obviously got labs here. I got labs a couple other places too. So yeah, I kind of get around and I play. I have fun.
Why don't you build a big stage and have a concert?
Hey, come to Large Cars and Guitars up in Kodak, Tennessee.
I was just up, but I just did 2 shows up in Georgia.
Yeah,
hey, where do we go?
But at Large Cars and Guitars, we will have. I think we got 8 musicians booked for that already, and that's Tony Justice puts it on. That's his show, but obviously BullSnot's part of it. And then I have another show I do out in Searcy, Arkansas, which is Jubilee. I have a couple of shows that I sponsor, and we're in do all that stuff.
Okay. So you're throwing your brand name behind it. You're sponsoring it in that respect. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I also sponsor, which I've been posting on this week, because everybody keeps asking how many drivers do I sponsor. Well, it turns out I sponsor 20, and I sponsor monster truck drivers. I sponsor race car drivers. I sponsor truck and tractor pull drivers. So when you add them up, I got 20 of those in sponsor, in addition to all the truck shows and everything else I do.
So the race car drivers is NASCAR?
No. I sponsor kids, primarily.
Oh, okay.
I got 2 young girls that they were at Daytona this weekend. I mean, so they're racing on the same tracks as NASCAR, but it's a totally different series.
Okay. All right.
They're the up and coming. One of them's 16, one of them 18.
That's great.
That's
really
super cool, though. I mean,
that's really great.
That's not something typically kids have an opportunity to ever be around.
Yeah, and there's some wonderful kids out here. I mean, despite what the general public thinks about whatever generation this is, There's some kids, and they have a lot of energy and drive, and they just want to be part of the sports, and whether it's monster trucks or truck and tractor pulls or pre-NASCAR, like the Legends series.
Right.
And so that's what I do. My monster truck driver, one of them, he was the world's youngest professional monster truck driver. He started driving at 13. He's
13.
He's 16.
13.
Yep, he's 13 years old.
God.
Even when he's big old monster trucks.
How does a 13-year-old get in a monster truck? Did he get like catapult? They like just rifle him in there, or
you crawl inside of it? Don't you like crawl inside it to get up? Yeah.
Then you go
giant ladder.
I watched Terry Bradshaw do it.
Like you got to fart. I don't know, fart monkey to get in. You're crawling up inside the frame. You got the body, and then you got the frame. And even when I get up in them, I crawl up inside the frame, get up in them, and that's where you get in them.
And but there, cool. I remember taking Barry down to the arena down in the Meadowlands because he liked the monster trucks. Those things are humongous. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Doing flips and this and that. And I was like, oh my God.
I know. I took Dylan when he was young, and I was kind of blown away. I was like, man, this is
cool. It is super cool.
Well, I have one of my monster trucks at the Large Cars and Guitars at Kodak. Mother's Day weekend. It'll start on Thursday, be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you're up in the Gatlinburg area, come by and you'll see one of my monster trucks.
Gatlinburg. All right.
I don't know.
Great area.
Is that by Aunt Janice?
Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's
Tennessee.
Beautiful, beautiful mountainous area. I've had the pleasure of going through like Nashville. I've done a lot of Nashville stuff, and Georgia. Beautiful place. But Gatlinburg is really scenic, and heard a lot of great things. I have a couple musician buddies that are living up there now. Great area.
That's great.
My wife's always begging me to go there. Let's go to Gatlinburg.
Hey, now you got a reason to go. Come see it.
I do.
For Mother's Day. For Mother's Day, you can see Vann and you can have a good time.
And we should have. We're going to be sold out again this year at that show. We'll have probably 275, show trucks at that show, and these transfer trucks. These ain't 4-wheelers. It's transfer trucks. We'll have 275 at the show, and then next year we've outgrown the venues. So next year we're going to be down at Pigeon Forge at the convention center, where we can have the 500-600 trucks.
Oh wow! You're getting bigger and bigger, Vann. You're growing by little down. That's really great. I'm so excited for you. That's great. I love it. It's a success story that you just love to hear and watch and keep up on and stuff like that. That's great. I'm so happy that we got.
I got to warn you, Vann. I think my mother's trying to hit on you right now, Vann.
No,
I think that's what's going on. She's like, oh my God, he's so successful. Are you single?
You're such a dork. That was so funny when we met on the conference call, and I listened to him. I'm like, he would be great on the show. And I texted you right away, and you responded. It was so great, and I knew you would be great on the show.
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I get a lot of interviews. I've been interviewed by magazines, TV, just, I'm just perfectly comfortable interviewing anywhere. I love radio interviews. Those are a lot of fun. But to get back to all the stuff that I do, everybody, truckers, they all just say, you're living the dream. Every trucker would learn all the truck and tractor pulls, all the monster truck events, to NASCAR events. I mean, I get to go do about everything under the sun and all the companies. So, gotta keep continuing the product. It's not fun.
You're living your best life.
It's a lot of fun. And then
that's wonderful.
And then having loyal customers that come up and say thank you, it's just amazing. And I, just like this morning, I get to the plant and I have a trucker here waiting on me to meet me. And so they swing by, They know where I'm at. So the customer loyalty is something that it blows me away. It just does. And if you follow any of my social media, you probably seen I got thousands of videos. My customers make them, and they just send them to me. I never have to ask for them. They just love to make products and out with other truckers, and they say that my product line is helping rebuild the trucker brother. And the reason for that, truckers, when they get out of their truck stop, they have to know that driver or have a reason to talk to that driver in order to go over and talk to them. And so a lot of times they'll see them over there struggling to get the bugs off the bumper and everything else. Well, let's reach in and get their can of Bismol out of the truck, and they go over and show them how it works. And it gives them a reason to talk to that driver, and then they normally become friends, and it just becomes the whole brotherhood. And so that's been a real unique phenomenon that's come out of all this.
So, Vann, tell.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, tell all our audience where they can find you, what sites they can find you on.
Just download the BullSnot app. Go to your app store, Apple, Android, either one. I've got a BullSnot app. Download the BullSnot app, and you can get everything from all my products to BullSnot gear. And you got hoodies, T-shirts, and I could not believe how many hoodies I sold at Christmas time. It's mine. I bought a ton of hoodies. I said, I'm going to be stuck with these for a year. Now I had to reorder twice already.
Oh, that's great.
That is great. That's really great. And I like it. It's just nice and easy, simple. BullSnot app. Go to the app store, download it. Everybody's got apps these days. It makes it so much easier.
Right.
I mean, it's just a one-stop shop. Just go there and see everything you have to offer.
So
I'm excited about. I gotta get a BullSnot T-shirt. I gotta do that.
And well, it won't apply to the T-shirt, to the apparel, but for all the BullSnot products, for all your audience, if you download the BullSnot app, when you go to checkout, use coupon code BULL20, BULL20. Takes 20% off your order, and it's free shipping.
Oh,
nice.
Great. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I love when the audience hears stuff like that. That's great.
That's
20, ULL20, 20% off. I like
20% off and free shipping too. That's important.
Yep.
Shipping costs a lot.
Well,
especially nowadays.
If you ship as much as I do, I get great discounts on my shipping.
Right.
So I just got to spread it with customers.
Right, exactly. So you're going to pass it on, which is really wonderful. Well, Vann, I am so excited. We had, I just, imagine that this would be a really great episode to have you on. And again, this is Vann Brown, and he's the CEO and founder of Brown Ox Ventures. And his product is BullSnot. And all of you truckers out there and people who know truckers, and we have a lot of them that do listen to us, if you haven't heard of him already, I'm sure you're going to go on and you're going to find this, and you're probably going to be very happy to use some of his products because they sound really great. Eddie, I know you're going to go buy that bug stuff,
And the odor stuff because,
the odor stuff for the animals, yes.
Like petting zoo I got going on here.
And for your audience, if your favorite truck stop or convenience store does not have BullSnot, just ask for it. All you got to do, I have nationwide distributing that covers 100% of all convenience stores and truck stops. So if everyone will have it, ask for it.
Just ask for it. Okay. That sounds good. Well, thank you, audience, for listening to us. And thank you, Vann, for being with us. And we are funnyminds.com. And you can go on our website. We're on all major platforms for video and audio. And on our website, we have a funny store. But, we're changing that a little. We're changing up a little bit on that. But we have two organizations that we're very interested in and we work for. And that is St. Jude's Children's Hospital and breast cancer. So there's a big purple button. And if anybody is so inclined, hit that purple button, make a donation because it's really important to both organizations and the wonderful things that they do. So again, to all of you, I say be happy, be kind, be healthy, be wise, be non-judgmental, smile, and laugh because we all know that laughter is the best medicine. And you were a great, great episode, Van. I really appreciate you being on. We really had a great time.
Thank you for having me on.
Okay.
Thanks
Good
so
luck
much,
to
Van.
you.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.